Cactus Golf Podcast, episode number 75. This is March, what is it, 13th today?
Yes, it is 13th.
Episode number 75. A good week. A good week. We got a couple reviews to do. We got the Players Championship preview we're going to do. It's going to be a good week of golf here. This is like, I'd say this is the heart, maybe not the heart of golf season, but we're approaching the heart of golf season, no?
Yeah, it's definitely the start of the heart of the start of the heart of the golf season. This is like the aorta valve or something, whatever you want to call it. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, so it's getting exciting. It's getting really
Heck
exciting.
yeah. I got some news and notes we can kind of ponder on. I don't have a whole lot of plenty of quotes we could have grabbed. I didn't really grab any quotes. There's plenty of things that have been being said and coming out in the golf world. So we can go over some news and notes real quick. Like I said, we got the Arnold Palmer Invitational review. We have the LIV Hong Kong review. I'm going to tell you who won the Puerto Rico Open, but we're not going to do a review on that one.
Sounds good.
We got the Players Championship preview and betting corner. So let's dive right into it here. So some news and notes that I had here. Some commentary on the press conferences at the Players Championship. Rory had some things to say last week, actually, not so far this week, about kind of shrinking the size of some of the pools for the players. Making it a little harder maybe to get into the tournaments. He mentioned, I think, 100 tour cards. I think is what he mentioned. I had a little post about that on our Instagram. Thought it was kind of interesting, especially like I mentioned, the timeliness of having all these long shots that maybe wouldn't have made that top 100 that he's mentioning, like Jake Knapp, Grayson Murray. So kind of interesting for him to come out and say that now. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really have an opinion on shrinking the number of tour cards eligible. I don't know if I have a strong opinion on that. I think, like I talked about last episode, 2 episodes ago, my strong opinion comes down to like the number of tournaments that's played. I don't really know if I have a strong opinion on like who is considered a tour pro. I don't really know if I have an opinion on that, to be honest. It's kind of like, I don't know. This might sound a little weird, but like I can kind of see it be like if you have you're a tour pro, but you're playing in the minor leagues, right? You're a Major League Baseball player, but you're playing in the minor leagues. You're not always going to be playing in the major leagues unless you get called up, unless you're playing well to be eligible to play in the major leagues, right? So like, we have a lot of these smaller tournaments, and I saw some of the comments that having like kind of going into what Rory wants would kind of limit the amount of like people that come out and burst out of nowhere, those, rookies or, people who've been early in their career that just all of a sudden start
Yeah.
out. And I get that, I understand that, but as a viewer, I like to watch the good golfers play. You know, I think that's more entertaining. Like what was the other tournament that just happened last weekend? What did you say it was?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico Open. Yeah. I wonder what like their viewership is on something like that. And obviously it's not the same as the Arnold Palmer, right? So like is that something that they consider like running sometimes two tournaments on weekends? And you have the main one, and then you have the guys who aren't as popular battling it out, trying to make it to the main one. I
But
don't
one
know.
problem with that is the money, because that's another purse they have to pay, right?
True. True, absolutely. Or it's just again, I don't know. I don't know what this looks like. I don't really have to be honest, I don't really have a strong opinion on what Rory's comment was. Mine
You know
is
who
just
probably has a strong opinion on it?
who's that?
OWGR.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, you have less. Yeah, I mean that's worse quality, right? Lesser fields. I don't know. They're gonna. I mean, they might not qualify for points if they do that. I don't know. They better watch out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know, like I don't really care on any of that, to be honest, just because I don't know. I just want to watch the best players. As a fan, I just want to watch the best guys play. So don't, like this season kind of has started off kind of soft in a sense. Matthew Pavone won, Jake Knapp won. Would you say Grayson Murray was another one? So you've got
Sure.
some of these like this past week at the Arnold Palmer was the first big name golfer that has won so far this season, and
I
what
think
we're
Hideki won, but he was at 80 to 1 when
true,
he
true, 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 true. Yeah, true. I
he was a long shot though. I mean, his odds I think were longer at 80 to 1 when he won than Jake Knapp's were when he.
yeah. Well, that
It
look
was
at the
better field, that's
yeah.
why.
I was
But
gonna say look at the turn. Yeah, I don't know. I just again as a fan of golf, I just want to watch the best players. So you figure it out. There's going to be some tournaments that I'm not going to watch as much. There's going to be some that I'm going to watch way more of. Obviously, you're not going to get me behind a television screen for 4 days straight every single weekend. So I'm going to, as a fan, I'm going to watch the most important ones. I don't know. What's your take on all of it?
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, so I don't think it really matters. It's not going to get shrunken, I don't think, unless maybe a little later we'll talk about this. Unless when something ultimately happens with the PIF deal. I don't know. It was whatever. It was interesting. I just thought it'd be interesting to ponder. Um, it's interesting again, like I mentioned in the Instagram post I made, that it's not the same, but it's like going in the direction of what Live does because it's a smaller field. It's more. It's not the same as Live because Live just kind of invites whoever they want, whereas this would have some qualifications to it. The top 100 that Rory's talking about, so not the same, but it is smaller field.
Yeah.
So kind of going in that direction. But I don't know,
I mean,
whatever.
I think it's easy for Rory to say it, obviously, because he is who he is. It's easy for him to say it. Like, of course, like obviously, like some of the guys that, who are 500, ranked 500 and beyond are going to be like, no, screw that. I don't want this whole new system. I want to qualify for the events or get tournaments exemptions and get to play in here, get eligible to some of these purses. They're gonna have a strong opinion on it. Rory, of course, is gonna throw this around, and any of those top players are gonna be like, yeah, sounds good. Like it doesn't really impact me very much. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
So
even know if it was that well, if it's a shared opinion, because he said, yeah, I think he said in his statement that it wasn't a shared opinion. It's just kind of something he thought. So I don't know. Maybe other big players don't feel the same way. I don't know. But
yeah.
next, I mean, Rory had some more comments this week actually about Jay Monahan. Typical kind of Rory fashion. I mean, Rory, I feel like turning into this. Maybe he already was. I don't know, but kind of just a people pleaser. I feel like he came out and was in support of Jay Monahan with the being announced. The CEO, or what is it? CEO of the new venture here. So came out in support, and seems like he's the only one that came out in support of him.
Kissing ass, man. He's kissing
Like,
ass.
seems like he's the only one that came out in support of him, because Xander had some pretty critical things to say about Jay Monahan after that. And then Victor Hovland wasn't quite as critical as Xander, but he said basically, look, Jay's basically made some mistakes, and you know what? Everybody can make mistakes, but you just got to come out and admit it and fix it.
Yeah.
That's what Victor had to say, basically. So I mean, hey, can't complain, can't argue with that, really. So
Yeah.
Jay Monahan, getting some critics if he didn't already have enough.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. I mean, it doesn't surprise me as just watching all this that Rory is going to be okay with it. I was surprised a few like have you watched any of like the full swing yet?
I haven't got there, no.
So I'm like, I don't know, on episode 4 or 5 or something like that. And like I just passed one of the episodes when they announced this whole merger that's gonna happen and whatnot. And then there's a scene where like Roy's in the back of a car. He's like, just do whatever you want at this point. Like he's just kind of like giving up because he just felt like he was the face of all of it. And then, all of a sudden now they're turn on him and all of a sudden they're gonna make a deal with this with PIF. But, I feel like I was really kind of thinking that Rory was gonna start getting angry about it when they kind of made him like the scapegoat of the entire thing. They made him the face of the PGA, and all of a sudden they made him look like a fool. And all of a sudden they made this announcement they're going to be coming together. So I really thought that Rory was going to kind of have the courage to be like, you know, screw this whole thing. Um, but I don't think he's going to. I think he's just going to continue being the face of all of it because that's what he likes to do. I don't know.
I don't really know if he is the face. I think he's. I think whenever he kind of went on that podcast, right, about and talked about Live, kind of backtracked his statements like, "Oh, we kind of just have to coexist now," which is a huge step back at the time. I think I think he's just trying to play the middle ground, trying to be that people pleaser and just try and people pleaser, please everybody. I think he's trying to do that. He's trying to ride the fence. I think he's just not trying to ruffle any more feathers than he already has. Like on the first season of Full Swing when he's like "F you, Phil."
Yeah.
He's trying to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's trying to do.
I
And
don't
I
know.
guess I can't. From what he was doing, I can't blame him. I guess it's just leaves him open to be called a hypocrite. I guess, but I don't know. He was put in a tough spot though, so can't be too upset with him. I don't think.
No, no. I mean, it's Rory. He's gonna do what he wants to do, obviously. He doesn't really care about any of our opinions.
No, and then lastly, I just saw Jay Monahan. Speaking of the devil, says that the PIF deal is accelerating. Just recently said that it is accelerating. I know we had some speculation on our part of, what these investors that are coming in, or maybe if that's going to have play a part in it. Doesn't seem like it is. So I'm not sure how the two are going to coexist with all these investors and the PIF coming in. I'm not sure how that's going to coexist, but apparently they're going to figure out a way, I guess, so that it's accelerating for how they're going to figure it out. So that's I think that's good. I know there were some people on Twitter, on X, mentioning how like the Players Championship, they used to call it the best field in golf. The best field, even better than the majors, because a lot of the majors have some of the past winners from like
Yeah.
50 years ago still playing, so the exemptions there. So it's kind of waters down the field a little bit, especially the Masters
Yeah.
have some of those players playing in it. So typically the players has been like they could advertise it as the best field, and now they still do, but it's not really true now because you don't have Rom, you don't have Hatton, you don't have Brooks, DJ, all these great golfers. You can't really call it the best field or the best field anymore because I think some of the majors probably pass it up with some of the players they have coming over from LIV. So I think maybe this PIF deal will accelerate maybe the Players Championship, allowing some LIV players to play in it down the road.
I think we've gotta get back to that. Like I mentioned earlier in my comment, you just gotta get back to the best players playing together. We gotta get back to it. We gotta figure it out. However, it's gonna have to happen. You know, every side, every person, people were taking sides, PGA side, live side, and it's gonna be hard to come to the realization. And I think what Jay Monahan said, they want to quiet the noise. I think is like one of his quotes or whatever, but it's going to be weird. They're going to have to figure out how the two can coexist and then give the fans of golf what they want. Give us the coverage and give us the best people together. That's all we want. That's all the fans want. Is there anything else that you want? I can't think of anything else that I would want as a fan of golf more than watching the best players play and at getting full coverage of it. So as long as that deal has something related to that in there, I'm a happy camper. I can't think of anything else I'd like besides maybe a cut of the PIF money. I don't know. I can't think of anything else that I'd rather have besides that because that's what everyone wants. That's what everyone wants. So they've got to figure it out. They've got to make it work. However it is, everyone's going to have to realize that got to come together and move forward. Move forward, quiet the noise, put the best golfers together, and let me pick who I want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like, I guess a correlation might be like in soccer, there's the Champions League where all the European leagues come together for the Champions League, and who's the best. They all play each other. It's not like the leagues only play each other. They do play each other in their season, but then they all come together for the Champions League too to decide who's the best of all the leagues, basically. And
Yeah.
so I think we kind of do something maybe similar if you can kind of correlate that. Not exactly the same one-to-one comparison here, but similar. Just get them all together. All combined. Have some the best of the best live, come to the best of the best with PGA, and have one big tournament. Um, Maybe it's the players. Maybe call it a new tournament. I don't know.
Yeah.
And do that. That'd be kind of cool, I think. And if
Do
they
you
can work that
think, I mean, they have a huge opportunity right now, the PGA and Live and PIF and all this. They have a huge opportunity to capitalize on the division right now of
right.
between all these golfers. They have a huge opportunity to you know, create, like I talked about a couple episodes ago, there's rumors that the next match is going to be some live golfers versus PGA golfers. Like they have a huge opportunity to rake in some big money and some big viewership on like kind of playing into this whole divide. Do you think they'll go down that route, or do you think they're just going to like kind of just all of a sudden merge and just be done? What do you think?
I mean, I don't think they'll play the division. I think they'll advertise like maybe live in PGA, maybe like coming together, but I don't think they're gonna like play off the division though. I don't
They
think
can
they'll
make
be.
some big money if they. I feel like if they did.
Yeah, I just don't
I
think
don't know if
they
it's the
will.
right move. I don't think it's it's for fans like to playing into it, but like they can make some big money if they had like a
So I
some
think they're
sort
just
of
tired of it. I think they're tired of the division. So I think once
could
it
be.
finally finalizes, I think they'll be done with it.
It'd be fun, like some sort of like Ryder Cup between PGA and Live. Like, can you imagine the viewership on that, ticket prices for that, and like the merchandise, all of it? That would be insane.
Yeah,
That'd be
I think
insane,
good.
but probably won't happen.
Yeah, let's get on to the actual golf here. Let's get to the Arnold Palmer Invitational review. So Scottie Scheffler gets his putter going and just runs away, as we've kind of been predicting. If he ever did, then this was going to happen, and it did. He switched to the mallet, like Rory said, and got it going. He just what was the stat? I didn't write it down, but it was like he made 16 of his last 16 putts within 15 feet. I want to say.
On Sunday he was 16 for 16 on putts inside 15 feet.
And that's incredible. I mean, that's what a
Great.
turnaround that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Scotty back to his winning ways apparently. So let's watch out for him. He already had short odds coming into that with when the putter wasn't working. Let's see what those look like going forward. Some big names that didn't make the cut. I usually save this for later, but I'm gonna go into it now because there's a lot of big names that didn't make the cut. We have Matt Fitzpatrick, Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Colin Morikawa, Tommy Fleetwood all missed the cut, and it was we didn't mention this last week, but it was another one of those shorter fields, and it was top 50 in ties, but then also 10 strokes from the leader. So theoretically, should make it easier to make the cut, and they still did. So a lot of big names, and I think it was 11 total players that didn't make the cut. So both times we've had that, we had more players miss the cut than I think we would have expected. I know we had it last time at the Genesis, and that we had more miss the cut than we expected. So interesting there.
Yeah.
Run through the top 10 here real quick. Scottie Scheffler obviously wins. And then Wyndham Clark was solo second. Shane Lowry solo third. T4, we had Will Zalatoris, Russell Henley. T6, Sahith Theegala, Brendan Todd. T8, we had Ben On, Andrew Putnam, Emiliano Grillo, and Max Homa.
That's a pretty decent top 10 leaderboard right
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Yeah.
No doubt. Like I mentioned earlier in this episode, great to have a big name back at the top again. It feels good. We're kind of feeling like we're getting into the swing of things again. It's exciting to watch. You mentioned that, Sky switched over to the mallet putter like Rory pretty much coached him into it, like he mentioned. I was reading an article that Scottie said, obviously the mallet was a huge adjustment and what he felt like was a big help for him, but also just stop trying to be perfect, is what he said in his putting. So he just stop trying to be perfect in everything that he does in his putting and just kind of go back to feel again. And instead of just, the whole lot setup has to be perfect, the whole take back has to be perfect, the foul, everything. He just
So
wants
when he was doing horribly, he was trying to be perfect.
correct.
Huh.
Correct. So
Well,
that's what he said. Huh?
well, he wasn't.
Yeah, no, exactly. Clearly he was not. So he said he's just really going back to the feel of things and just going back to just rolling the ball. Roll the ball. That's all you got to do.
I think you can take that lesson into a lot of different facets of golf and life.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That viewers don't know this. Not only a golf podcast, this is a motivational podcast we have on for them. Just
Down
kidding.
to the
So
basics.
say again.
Back to the basics.
Back to the
What is
basics.
it? Kiss, keep it simple, stupid.
Right. That's right. And no, it was good. I got a text. I was kind of busy and then a lot of stuff going on last weekend. So I didn't get to watch too much of it, but I got a text in we had a little golf group chat with my family and my dad sent a text message that Scottie missed a 3-foot putt again. So that was like on Thursday or Friday, I forgot what day it was. I was like, oh, here we go again. And then to see him go 16 for 16 on those 15-foot and ins putts, that's crazy. I mean, that's like going polar opposites for him. That's going from literally what he has been known for is missing all these putts to draining every single one of them on Sunday. That's insane. That's insane. Good
Especially
for him.
inside 15 feet. 15 feet. I mean, I want to say the two are average 15 feet. So what's that, like 35, 40% maybe? So I think 10 feet's
Probably.
about 50, I want to say.
We made posts on this before. I think it's lower for some reason. I don't remember exactly off
50
the
feet
top of
might
my
be like
head.
30%. So I don't know. I think something like that.
Yeah.
I think 10 feet's about 50% or so, 48, I think. So I mean, from 15 feet, that's incredible.
Very.
But yeah, so yeah, it was a tougher test. We talk about wanting a tougher course here. It was tougher. Rory, or sorry, Scotty Finished at 15 under, which was pretty low for the course. But I mean, second place was 10. So I mean, he blew away the field. Other than Scottie, everybody else had a pretty tough time with it. So it was a tough test. Scottie made it look a little easier than it was. I wanted to do a quick FedEx ranking update here, top 10, since we are getting, again, like we said, into the heat, the thick stuff of the thick part of the PGA season here. So top 10 of the FedEx rankings, we had Matthew Pavon was leading for the most part because he had that win, and then he had I think a top 5 or top 3 to follow that up. So he was leading up until this week. So Scotty's now number 1, Wyndham Clark's number 2. They both vault ahead of Matthew there with their finishes this week. So they're 1-2. Matthew Pavon is now 3rd, Hideki 4th, Ben on 5th, Sahith Theegala 6th, Chris Kirk, Jake Knapp, Xander, and Will Zalatoris all follow there. So that's our FedEx top 10. So some more familiar names rising to the top there. So
yeah,
we'll
I think
see.
maybe is that normal? Maybe that's just like the beginning of the PGA season.
Well, there's just more fluctuation, but there's less tournaments. So, and especially with some of the top guys not playing all those smaller events.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Like, they're some of these big names are skipping some of these events, and they're really, as we get into the thick of things, when they're going to stick out. And some of these guys that had these early hot starts are going to kind of fiddle out by the end of the season by this time. So I don't know. It's good. It's good to see, like I said, getting some of those big names in there again. I forgot about how many are we like what do we think, a quarter of the way through the season, right?
What are we in, about 9, 10 tournaments in, something like that?
I think we're at 7, 6. I
That's
think
it.
that many. Yeah, I think that's it. Maybe there's a little bit more.
Because we had Sony open the first week of the season, or first week of the year, one every week, right? Almost every week.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably 10 or 11 in, right? No, probably like 10. Yeah, halfway through March, 4 weeks in each month.
Yeah, but did we start week 1 of January?
Yeah, Sony Open.
Really? I thought it was the Century was the first tournament.
I'm sorry, Century. You're right. Sony was next.
Yeah. Maybe we are a lot farther than I think. Can you name
Yeah,
every person who won?
third of the way, quarter of the way.
Can you name every person that won the season so far? If I put you on the spot, there's no chance there's no shot.
Chris Kirk was the winner first, right?
Yeah, but he had won
Murray.
the Century.
Chris Kirk, Grayson. I don't know. Grayson Murray wasn't second. He was like third, I think. Then you had
tough.
did Chris Kirk win 2? No, I don't know.
Chris
Kirk,
it's tough.
Knapp, Hideki.
If we go back to let's see, I'm going through my notes real quick. If we go back to, where am I at here? What was the beginning of the episode? That was, okay, here we go. The 4th, the Century.
I'll tell you what, I can name them all.
Chris Kirk was the first.
Yeah, Grayson Murray was second. Dunlap, Pavone, Clark, Nick Taylor, Hideki, Knapp, Eckroat, Scheffler.
How many is that? Is that 10?
3, 6, 9. Well, it's 11 if you count the Puerto Rico Open.
Got it. Wow, I felt like it was. So we're like more than a quarter of the way there.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Okay. Well, 2 truths.
I got it for you, man. Here we go. Tell me, Scottie Scheffler, where's the lie in here? With that win on Sunday, he has now earned more than Arnold Palmer's entire on-course earnings. So I'll just clarify that obviously he's earned more
for inflation.
His whole career. Tell you again?
Adjusted for inflation?
No adjustment for inflation. So with just that one win, Scottie's $4 million that he won on Sunday. Okay. He has earned more than Arnold Palmer's entire on-course earnings. Okay. Number 2 was he was born in New Jersey. And number 3 is he needs 2 or more majors to hit the career Grand Slam.
Wait, 2 or more?
He needs, 2 more.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. He needs 2 more majors to hit the career Grand Slam. Sorry.
Oh, well, no. Yeah, he's only won the Masters. Yeah, so that one's false.
That is the lie. Yes, you are correct. But it was true. The first one is true. So that $4 million he's earned, not with adjusted earnings. He has earned
Yeah, I
more.
think I saw that post. But then I saw another post, I think, about something for adjusted for inflation, I think.
Where he was like, was MJ number one?
It was just about him and Arnold,
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
got it. Got it.
The
Got it.
one I saw, I think, at least. I
All right. You got it right.
think I'm on like a bit of a hot streak. I want to say I'm like over 50% these last few.
Well, so you know how we started our new betting corner at like the end of last year? You're 7 right and 10 wrong.
Oh, well,
So, but
I
like,
think the last like 4 or 5 have been better. I think.
yeah,
I'll just go quickly. Bryce Garnett won the Puerto Rico Open.
cool. Next.
Yep. So yeah, good for him. I think I picked him to win an event last year. He didn't do it. That was his first win, and I want to say like 6 years. I want to say he's a vet, but yeah, good for him. I don't know what the first. I'll tell you what the first one is. He won 7.2, or I'm sorry, 720,000. 7.2 in the law.
I would have watched that tournament. 7.2 million.
720,000 for Bryce Garnett. That was
Their purse probably wasn't even that big. So
probably like 2 million, 3 million.
yeah,
Let's go to the LIV Hong Kong here. Abraham Ancer gets his first LIV win in a 3-man playoff over Paul Casey and Cam Smith. I feel like we have a good amount of playoffs at LIV, no?
yeah.
Yeah, so that was exciting over in Hong Kong. So yeah, Abraham Ancer gets his first win. Crushers get their second straight team competition win after another Sunday rally. This time overcoming a 7-stroke deficit. I think last week they did or last tournament they did 11-stroke deficit overcoming on Sunday. So Crushers get their second straight there. Top 10, we had Abraham Ancer, Paul Casey, Cam Smith. Then T4, we had Joaquin Neiman continues his hot streak at T4. Carlos Ortiz, T4. T6, we had Kevin Knobb, Bryson DeChambeau. T8, we had Richard Bland, Graham McDowell, Charles Howell III, Ian Poulter, Dean Burmeister, John Rahm, and Henrik Stenson.
Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of T8s there, huh? Some other notables, we had Dustin Johnson, Taylor Gooch, Tyrrell Hatton, all T21. Brooks Koepka, 28th. Anthony Kim, 50th. Phil, 52nd, or tied for 52nd.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just add on to that Phil thing. So last week I talked about how Phil had a top 10 finish. I'm like, oh, it's getting close to the Masters again. This could possibly be it. He shot 8 over. He shot 8 over this week.
Worse than Anthony Kim. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Anthony Kim, the only reason why he came back was because on Sunday he shot, I think, what, 5? He
It was
shot
a
5
5
under
under. Yeah, it was 5
on
under.
Sunday. So he had a nice final day to help him jump a couple positions in the leaderboard, but still obviously nowhere near competition level yet.
Yeah,
Still,
I mean, hopefully he can keep that 5 under. I mean, he's got it. He showed it. He had that one round. He's got it in there. He's got to get the consistency. So it's good to see. He's got the potential. So let's just see if we can put it together for a weekend, huh?
yeah. Just to give an update too on on the individual and the team competition of LIV. Clearly, Neiman is the current leader of the individual competition, and clearly Crushers is the leader going back to back of the team competition. So I'm excited to see this continue playing out. I know they already labeled. I think that we talked about this last episode. Maybe we didn't, but they already designated the 2 locations for the individual and the team championships. So one of them's in Chicago, the other one's in Houston. So we'll be seeing them battle it out towards the end of the year. And yeah, they got a little bit of a break until their next tournament. I think it's not until like April 2nd to the 4th, something like that. So we got a little bit of time, but they're back in the stateside, back in Miami. So
Okay. Yeah. So I got my 2 truths. Do you have any? You don't have anything else?
no, let's keep going.
All right. I'm excited for this. This is gonna be a good one. 2 truths for Abraham Ancer. First time for him.
Yeah.
So Abraham Ancer. So he was born in Texas. He is second on the Fireballs GC in individual points this year. So the 14 Fireballs, he's second in individual points after his win. And his career high in OWGR was 11th.
Okay. I'm gonna say So the first one I feel like is a trick because I'm supposed to think that is born in Mexico or something, but I think that's all. I think that's he might have been born in Texas. I'll go ahead and buy that one. Um, the second one, Fireball. We've got Joaquin Neiman's won twice, and we've had um, God, who else has won? Live. How am I forgetting people's? I forget who else has won on Live now.
Well, this is number 4, is it?
Yeah, and Neiman's won twice. Abraham Ancer is the other, and I want to say it wasn't anyone from Fireballs. So I'm gonna have to say that one's got to be the lie. I feel like he should be leading the individual competition. Is that it?
Sir,
That's my final answer. Yeah.
that one is the line. Yeah, he is number 1. He's Sergio is number 2. He's I don't know how many points, but I think they're about 10 spots away.
Who else won Live? Who am I missing?
I don't know. I was scrolling up my notes. I need to.
It was just son of a. It had to have been. I
Wasn't Brooks, right?
think so.
Tell you here in 1 second. I got it right here. If my
Who won
computer
in Vegas?
DJ.
DJ. Son of a gun. That's right. That's right. So four aces. So my method, my madness was right, even though I couldn't remember who the other one that won. But all right, that's cool. We got one for one.
He was born in McAllen, Texas. That was weird. I thought, yeah, it was like a double reverse, psychology kind of thing,
I can see
So
that. I can see that one kind of trying to stump me up a little bit. I feel it.
yeah. His career high in OWGR was 11th in 2021. He's obviously fallen since then. So yeah, that was the two truths. So there you go. That's a dub. Both
Hell yeah.
dubs. That's good. See, everybody's winning today.
Let's do it.
All right, let's move on to the preview here, the Players Championship preview. The defending champion, Scottie Scheffler, TPC Sawgrass, the Players Stadium course in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, par 72, 7,275 yards. We got a full field here, 144 player field, 47 of the top 50 OWGR, but we don't care about that. We care about 41 of the top 50 TUGR, right?
That's right.
41 of the top 50 TUGR. No longer the best field in golf, like we talked about. It's gonna be up there, but I think some of the majors are gonna top it this year. We have never seen a back-to-back winner here either. So Scottie come in good form. Maybe he can make history here.
That's actually good. That's actually a pretty crazy stat right there. Never seen a back-to-back
This
winner.
is the 50th playing of the player. So in 50 tries, no one's gone back to back.
That's pretty wild, actually.
I was looking at, I don't have the exact like strokes gained and all that kind of stats, but I will say that if you look back at all the winners, they're like it's a diverse crowd that's won. So sometimes the tournaments you see like other tournaments like a trend, like a long ball hitter fits this course better. It's a diverse trend. You don't see a lot of like the same type of player win this. It's all over the place. So it's going to be hard to predict.
I believe it's a Pete Dye course too, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
is. Yeah.
So, purse is 25 million. Do you see that? A
Largest
25
purse in golf.
million dollar purse
Larger than LIV individual.
individually. Yes. I saw that their purse has more than doubled since 2019 for the Players Championship. So it's exciting. Mentioned it, someone coming in good form. The previous winner, Scottie Scheffler, is currently the favorite. I saw last odds at plus 550. So like I said, tough for him to go back to back, but he's followed by Rory at plus 1,400 and Xander at plus 2,000. Speaking of Xander, and speaking of someone who has went 40 straight appearances and hasn't missed a cut yet, I'm going Xander this week. I like Xander for this one. Obviously, he's played 6 events this season, 5 top 25s, 4 top 10s. He finished T19th here last year. So I like him for this one. I don't know. I like the way he's been playing, like the form he's been playing. He did a recent interview about how he went 40 straight appearances with no cut. He said, "Oh, I don't really care about that. Because I need to actually win. I don't really care if I keep making the cut. I mean, obviously it's nice, but I want actually to turn around and actually have a victory here." So I like his attitude, his mentality for this week, and I'm going with him.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna a definition of insanity. Going back to JT. I mean, man, it's gonna happen. He's playing well still. He's playing
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
It's gonna come. I think this would be a great one for him to win too. He hasn't won in 2 years, and this was I mean, one of the biggest tournaments you can win, and I think it'd be an outstanding comeback story. Maybe for next year's Full Swing. Maybe this would be a really cool story on next year's season of Full Swing. How he overcame everything, all his hardships last year, and won this amazing event. So I think that'd be a cool story. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Keep sticking to it, and yeah, it's coming. It's gonna be a tough field. It's still an outstanding field despite some of the players leaving, but yeah, I think he can get it done.
I like it. I like it.
Let's move on to betting corner here. You got the update.
Yep. So I went +5 last week. +5. Finally had something hit. And I think your text, you didn't get anything, correct?
No, man, I was so close. I had JT and Rory both top 20. JT was there. Where was he? At T at 12 or something like that. Um, and and Rory was there to start Sunday, and then just literally just I mean, wet his pants on Sunday. He was like 6 over on Sunday. It was atrocious. He ended the back nine on Saturday, 6 under. I was like, heck yeah, here we go. Then I had another top 20 with Victor. Who else was it? But it was, I mean, they were there, but just didn't get it done. My first round leaders didn't get it done. So Colin was close to my first round leader. Then he wet his pants too and didn't even make the cut. So yeah,
My only,
minus.
my only one that hit last week was Will Zalatoris. So I think both times I've bet on him so far this season have hit. So it's not, it feels nice. So I had him top 5 and he finished T4. It was just a two-way tie for T4, thank God. Otherwise, that would have been, splitting some of that winnings there. But yeah, I've got 5 picks. You got 5?
Yeah.
I'll go first. So speaking of Will Zalatoris, I'm trying to go for 3 for 3. And maybe this is also the definition of insanity, but it's working, so why stop? I'm going Will Zalatoris, top 10 plus 320, 25 units. Like I just mentioned, finished T4 last week. I like the way he's been playing. He came back obviously from surgery and has some time off last year, and he had a really tough start when he came back right away. I think he started off with the Hero World Challenge, was his first tournament back, didn't play so well. A couple tournaments after that didn't play too great, and now he's been making his name back for himself again. So I like him for this one. I like him so much I didn't even call him Old Shaky Hands, which we've been calling him that for quite some time. But the ball is rolling well for him, and he switched to that different putter. Yeah, the broomstick, and I like him. Just again, top 10 finish this week.
Willie Z. Okay. I'm going with my first one here. I'll just get it out of the way. Justin Thomas. I got him. I went a little different strategy this time. Been doing the parlays that have treated me pretty well, even though last week didn't hit. It was really close. But I'm going different strategy this week. I'm going JT top 5, plus 500. Going 25 units on that one. I almost picked like 5 outlets just because I think it's going to be volatile. I need to get some units back. So I almost did one. Like, I can't do that. So I'll go top 5 for JT plus 500, 25 units. Good form. It's going to be a tough course here this week. A Pete Dye course is pretty tough. Plays tough, and I think he's got it in him. Top 5 on the tough track. So we got it.
Yes, Pete Dye is a tough course, and I'm actually playing one tomorrow, and I'm pretty nervous about it too. So I found one out here, and it should not have been the first course I picked to play without warming up and get another course in. But anyways, my second pick for this week is a previous winner so far this season is Hideki Matsuyama. I'm going Hideki this week, a top 10 finish again, plus 360, 23 units. I like the way he's been playing recently ever since the win at the Genesis, and I think that he can easily get a top 10 finish. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have his exact finish last week, but I'm pretty sure he played pretty well. I don't know if I can pull. He T12 last week, so I like him for this one. And again, just top 10 finish is all I need.
Okay, two top tens. All right, I'm going with another guy in really good form. Once he got to Florida, he played about as good as you can. Once you get to Florida swing, we mentioned it. Shane Lowry. He lives in Florida, not from there, but lives there, and he's liked it so far. Treated him well, so I'm going top five again for Shane Lowry, plus 820 units for him. So two top fives for me, two top tens for you. Shane Lowry, he's contended both weeks in Florida, and I think he can get another contention in under him.
I like it. I'm actually going three top tens. So here's my next one. I got Wyndham Clark, top 10 finish, plus 518 units. I
We're both
love.
going back to back top fives. Yeah, Wyndham Clark was a top five last week, so was Shane. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So, but again, just a top 10 finish is all I need from him. So something that could be easily done. You said you haven't watched the Full Swing episode. I'm curious in your thoughts when you do watch it. He's featured in Full Swing this year. And he was also with Joel Damon. They shared an episode together. And
Quite the contrast.
well, there actually is a contrast for a certain reason, and you'll see if you watch. But kind of the whole thing about it was his mental side, and Wyndham Clark picked up a mental coach and helped him tremendously improve his game. Because you've seen previous times when he's beaten his bag to death with his club after missing some shots, but now the whole thing is that Joel Damon is now also struggling mentally, but he's not picking up a mental coach. So they kind of like were playing back and forth on that during the episode. But anyways, top 10 finish from Wyndham Clark. That's what I'm going for this week. So
Okay. My next one, I'm going three top fives as well. Russell, I'm sorry, yeah, three top fives, your three top tens. I'm going Russell Henley. Russell Henley, top five. Another guy that's playing really well. I think he's going to fit this course well. It's a plus 850 for the top five. I'm going 20 units on that one. We're going for some swings here, try and get some money back. So Russell Henley, low key, he's not the biggest name, but he's an outstanding player. He's always plays really well, and I think he's one of the top tier here. I think getting the number at plus 850 is a good bet for him for how good he is. So I like the odds there.
I like that one. That's pretty good odds there. I'm going back to the definition of insanity for me this week because I've been picking Patrick Cantlay a lot this year so far. So I'm going Patrick Cantlay. A top five finish is all I need from him this week, plus 616 units for Patrick Cantlay. Haven't really seen too much from him. You've seen more from his best friend Xander this year so far. But I like him. I like him again. He's someone that he's been around. It's just nothing new for him. If he's in a high pressure situation or forced to a playoff, or if he's, trying to continue with a lead down the stretch or trying to catch up, to the lead on the stretch, I feel like he can easily do it. It's not like we watched Jake Knapp on Sunday a couple weeks ago and he was falling apart. I mean, he couldn't even hit a fairway until the seventh hole, I think is what it was. Someone who just hasn't been around, a competition like that or a lead like that on the tour. And Patrick obviously has been around it many, many times. So I like him just from his, veteran career, mentality. But again, top five is all I need.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I had to get my computer plugged in there. We almost made it. But yeah, so we got one short odds player win last week. Was our first time in a while. I think we have another one here this week. I think the trend is shifting. Players are getting mentally ready for the major season.
Yep.
And I think it's probably good odds that we have another one. So yeah, I like the big names this week for sure. It's a tough course and a tough environment as well. So I'm going another kind of bigger name as well. So I'm going to go Sung Jae Im. Going sticking with the top fives here. He's a lot longer though. I think the odds here are crazy for how good a player he is. Not the best form, but
yeah,
he's a great player. So similar like the Hideki thing where he won the Genesis at 80-1. Just for how good a player that is, super long odds. So I'm going Sung Jae Im top five plus 1,400 for Sung Jae for a top five. So I think compared to like Henley at 850 and Lowry at 800, I think that's just good odds for how good a player Im is, even though he's not in the best form. I'm going 15 units on that.
Yeah, it was good to see. He finished T18 last week. So it was good to see him back. And I've been on Eam a couple times this year so far, and it's hurt
Player.
me every time. But I've been seeing a trend of golfers that I'm betting on that they end up doing well the week or two after I bet on them. So maybe this will hit for you. I think this will be a good one. But I agree. Aim is such a strong golfer. He's not in the best form, but he can easily snap back out of it quick. I mean, we
Yeah,
saw
I
him.
mean, we've seen plenty of times. Yeah.
Yeah, he started the Genesis or the Century like with like tying the career number of birdies in a round or something like that. So I mean, he's clearly able to do it. But all right, I like that pick. My last one, I'm going back to the triple chance. I got Rory, your man JT, and Xander this week. My triple chance plus 518 units. I agree with you. I think JT is someone that again, I want to see him win. I liked watching JT. He struggled tremendously last year. Last year. This year, he's been playing pretty well. He's been playing pretty decent. So I can easily see that. And Rory, I don't know. He's cyclical, I feel like. He gets hot and he gets cold. He gets hot and he gets cold. Um, but obviously someone that again, career veteran mentality. He can easily come out and just win this tournament, no problem too. So
Yeah, we'll have to see him get the putter going. Like he gave Scotty the answer he needed. Maybe he needs him to give him the answer. I don't know.
so Scotty has to go to Mallet, Rory has to go to Blade or
Yeah,
something like
straight.
that. Yeah,
Get back to the basics, Roy. Come on.
that's right.
All right, my last one here. I'm going Corey Connors. I haven't been on Corey Connors in a while. I think you have though.
Yeah, last
Corey
week.
Connors. Yeah, there you go. I'm going him. I think going just the ball strikers. I think Eames notorious for being one of the better ball strikers on tour. Corey Connors is as well. He's been somebody that struggled with the putter before in his career. Hopefully, we can get a good week out of him rolling the rock. So let's go Corey Connors top five. Again, another longer odds for such a good player, plus 1100 for a top five. So I like those odds for him. 20 units. I think I can see he's not a huge name, but it's also not just like a nobody, right? So I think I like somebody that's a bigger name to win this tournament this week. Keep that trend going that Scotty got started. And I don't think we're going to see a longer odds player this week. So I think sticking with those five top big names.
Like I just mentioned about Eam. I had Connors last week and he missed for me. Not by much though. So
Got him
if
last week
Connors
and even last week.
I can't well no, Eam was when was Eam? 2 weeks ago, I think.
So
2 or 3 weeks ago. So if both those hit for you, I'm
follow your picks. Yeah.
I'm throwing in the flag, man. Just fade my picks for 1 or 2 weeks and then they'll hit for some reason. Just kidding. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all she wrote. You got anything else?
That's all I got. Yeah, we'll obviously do the reviews next week of what we got this week. We won't have live like we mentioned last week until the week before the Masters, so a few weeks break from live. So we'll be in person next time. Not this will be the only Zoom for probably a while, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Zoom episode for a while. So we got some big things coming for Cactus Golf Club. You mentioned we got the announcement coming this week.
Yeah. We should we leak it on here? No?
Be announced on Friday. So how about everybody
Oh,
just
that's
pay attention?
right. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. My days are all mixed up, man. Yeah, we got some time. We got some time. But anyone who's a member, they got to make sure that they're in the group on Friday for the announcement because it's a pretty cool one, honestly. This
Get
is
the
like,
Facebook group.
yeah,
To help, we'll tag everyone, but make sure your notifications are on.
for
That'll help.
sure. For sure. And we got a lot of new product coming. I just got another notification that the new Callaway Chrome Tour balls are on the way, which is exciting to hear that. And yeah, I mean it's a lot. We're getting into the kind of the stick of things for us too. Kind of getting to that aorta valve like I was talking about. We're kind of really getting there. We're getting down into the heart of things for our season too. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. Anything else?
That's all we got. I think just make sure tune in next week. Let us know what you think. Share it with a friend. Comment, subscribe, like. I think I said them in the wrong order that time, but
Oh yeah.
like, comment, subscribe. I don't know what order I just said.
Leave a review, share with your friends. See you next week.
Peace.